Cruz, and today we're going to go over some concepts regarding the pole. Excuse me. So anyway, thanks again for subscribing. All the information is below, and if you want to join Kirin Rise University Premium, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's talk a little bit about the pole development. I know when we think about weapons in Wing Chun, there's basically two weapons that we have. We have the Bacham Do, and we have the pole as well. This is not actually a Wing Chun pole. This is a smaller pole for you guys to see for visualization purposes. But you got to remember exactly the purpose of the weapons. The weapons weren't originally part of the art. It was later on put into the art. And the purpose of the weapons, from the way I've been taught, is basically, yes, you can fight with the weapons, but for the most part, it's to help develop different aspects for the art for you. So for example, for the pole, this is actually used for body unity and actually development of power in your motions. And for the swords itself, that's basically for footwork and so forth. So, but we're gonna go talk a little bit about the pole and how exactly does it help you with your overall use of Wing Chun. So first of all, when you think of the pole, everything that we do in Wing Chun has a balance to it. So for example, when I do my hands, my emphasis on the punch itself is not just on the forward motion, it's also on the hands that was tracking back, right? So in the beginning, when anything that you learn in Wing Chun, it's kind of isolated. You can only do so many things at one particular time. So in other words, let's take the punch for example. When we do the punch, people are just thinking, first in the beginning, just punch, right? They're just thinking of the hand that's coming out. But yet the hand pulling back when you punch is just as important. And in the beginning, you can only really focus on the hand, but you're not aware of actually the body involvement with it or the legs as well with it. Okay, it's just a natural progression of when you train, you can only juggle so much at one particular time. So eventually, towards the end, when let's say you've got more coordination, more skill in your Wing Chun, you want to actually see exactly how the pole form actually helps you with the unity. So for example, let me give you an example. Here's a section of one of the pole forms in the pole form. Okay, this is one of the angles that we do. I'm going to just do it for you. From here, I'm circling 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it looks like a simple motion, right? There's circular motions covering all these angles and stuff like that. But if you look at it, right, when you see the usage of the pole, you don't look at the pole like this. See, I go 1, 2, 3, pull. But in actuality, when I do this motion, right, you see how I'm balancing this pole between two hands. So in other words, the pole doesn't have like more emphasis on one side, more emphasis on the other side. In order for it to get me this balance, the body has to be used in order to create that balance. So this first circular motion, right? It's here on my hip and then ends up on my chest as a pivot point. From here, my hands adjusting from that, and then from here, my body turns. So see how the body is actually being used from that? And by having the body move and then have the hands adjust at that point, you're getting that usage of actually body motion together. So from here, right here, you see, I'm doing my body motion, and then from here, it's not just, look, see how my hands just go like this, right? But in reality, from this motion, my hand and body, see how my bodies actually be combined together. Body, leading the hands, and then here, a simple circular motion. See, you see my hands circular and pull it back, but look, you actually see a little body motion and then my body actually pushing in from that. And that's the whole point. Throughout the entire form itself, you're going to see yourself balancing motions back and forth. Like a simple motion like this, going down, up. See how I'm doing this down, up? That's just hands in itself. 1, 2. But in actuality, watch. 1. See how my body, 1. So my body supports this motion pushing down while this part pivots up. And then then I do the reverse. I pull up, and this pushes down. As opposed to going like this. Watch. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's just my hands, right? But here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And by doing that, using the pole, not only in form practice, you're getting to get that unity all together to develop the power, right? The key is in the beginning, isolation is all you can do. You can only concentrate on one hand, two hands at one particular time. Then eventually you have the body in use. and basically with the stance involved. So what the pole does is basically benefit you in the end to have all three structures of the leg, body, and arm work in unison. So simple motions like this: body, body. My body's adjusting with using the hands to snap in motion like this. For here also, you see my body actually use it to actually support and thrust out the hands and so forth. When I push out, I want to have all these motions. So looking at the pole, understand exactly what you're trying to develop, right? The unity of the three structures working together, and then using that to balance out the pole when you're practicing the form. All right, hopefully that gives you a little idea and perspective of how to actually have the pole motion, or actually have the pole to benefit your overall structure in Wing Chun. So anyway, thanks again for joining Kirin Rise University. We're on Facebook. You can also join us on our Zoom classes because we're still doing Zoom classes regularly on Tuesday and Thursday. And make sure you find your Gung Fu. Later, guys.